You may go grab that before we start.
We're all friends here.
We got to grab something before we start.
I'm just going to grab a pacifier if I cover down.
It's running.
You don't have to run.
Usually in the back. There's one therapist at the therapy place. They said she runs 5 miles in the morning before she goes in, and then she runs around the place pushing wheelchairs all day long. I'm like, holy moly. Running. The other one says she goes and works out before she comes in there. I said, are you crazy? You're working out all day.
Yeah, that's your job.
These kids range from 20 pounds to 50. She's got one that's probably 100 pounds, and she's lifting him. Jeez. Hey, say hi, everybody. Are you on the camera? Mm-hmm. Do you see Brielle up there on the TV screen? Where's Brielle?
There's Brielle.
Hi, everybody.
You see yourself?
So is there some new and interesting things that we could talk about, that we could bring up?
Well, they're going full time.
We're going to go full time, pretty much. We're in it.
I see. So that's one thing. That's a big decision.
Yeah. We rented out our house and took all our stuff
Your
out of it.
community's grown. That's the world to y'all. Y'all have met up with another set of families recently.
We've met a lot of people through camping.
And your dream about the RV making this more possible to get good treatment is showing itself. So there's all kinds of angles on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mom wasn't there for the first podcast.
I wasn't there.
Yeah. You weren't?
Yes, I was. It was a
We
video
were Zoom.
one. That's
Yeah,
right.
Zoom.
That's right.
Yes. A little different.
Well, I don't mind repeating things either, so...
You're probably going to be looking across the table more, so I'm just going to aim this mic at you since you're...
I'm going to try my best not to look at that screen.
That's what I...
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I oftentimes will actually turn it off at some point because
I'm bad at it.
It's better for me if you aren't looking at this.
But for a podcast, for a live, we look there. But for a podcast, we're looking at each other because we're talking to each other. So it's not as weird.
Yeah.
No.
But
Well, that fixes that.
It's not even on anymore. The camera ain't.
What if I have something on my
I
face?
love that accent. It's not even
I don't
on.
have an accent.
please.
Oh, everybody picks on my own.
Own.
I don't even remember what word I can't say.
An ol.
Oh, that's Texas.
How do you say Houston?
Houston.
Houston.
With a
she
Y.
says it like your mom.
With a Y.
No,
and
you
I grew
say
up in
Houston.
Houston.
But his
Unless
mom
you're in
says
New York,
Houston.
it's Houston.
It's in Houston in New York.
Yeah, Houston Street.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
Well, then how do you say New Orleans?
Orleans.
Nolans.
New Orleans. New Orleans.
New
That's
Orleans.
New Orleans.
How do you say it like in conversation?
New
New
Orleans.
New Orleans.
But if you live there, it's like Nolans.
New Orleans.
We're almost to Texas where we're from. So we're kind of
So you tried to be a Texan,
Louisiana.
but
We were born in Texas.
That's a start. I wasn't born in Texas.
And
I
we're
was
only
born
like-
in New Jersey.
We're only like 27 miles from Texas.
Yeah.
So
There,
you're just barely
Louisiana.
Cajun.
barely, yeah. And if we did anything, we went to Texas. Like we never. I've been to New Orleans one time. It really wasn't in New Orleans.
And I haven't been there.
What?
Yeah, it's weird, huh? We're weird. We were always told to stay away from
You're
it
not.
because-
Well, I don't know if you're weird or not. Maybe
told to
you would
stay away
qualify as
from it.
weird, but
We were always told-
honestly,
I grew up with my single mom, so she would not go to New Orleans at all.
I had a
Because it
strict
was-
dad. He said no.
you're not going to that Sin City, huh?
Yep.
So you have never. You're born in Texas, but raised in Louisiana.
What?
Louisiana.
You could say Louisiana.
It's
say
Louisiana.
My mom says it that
Yeah.
way too.
But you've never been to New Orleans.
Have not.
New Orleans.
I've been to the Superdome, and it's only because my dad was working on air conditioners there. So I walked around the Superdome, and then we left after he worked on the air conditioners. So that's the
Wow.
extent of me being in New Orleans.
So you guys are Cajun Texans.
Yeah.
You could say that. First time I went to her family,
My mom.
her mom's side is like South Central Louisiana. we were there for like 5 days.
He
and
said,
I
we
said,
have to leave because you're starting to sound like them.
I needed her as a translator because I could not understand. Like when they started talking about, whoa, this is a completely different part of Louisiana.
This is Cajun.
That's the first time I experienced it. And it was
really hard to understand.
Yeah, we have customers that call, and I listen really hard. I can catch some words, and it's very tough to understand.
Yeah,
but they're so lively. I mean, it is like a in your face, all out there. Okay. Like, this is who I am type culture. I appreciate that. I think that's cool.
Okay, are we starting the podcast now?
I don't know. I just think that stuff is cool. I think New Orleans is cool. And you know what? Clint can add some of it in if he wants.
Sure.
Or not, but I think it's very cool.
I'm living the RLV life, and I haven't been to New Orleans.
We say we're from Louisiana, we haven't. So I don't know if you can really say we're from Louisiana.
Okay. Well, I can say it if I want to.
That's right.
Because it's kind of true. Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. I've been there many times, but
okay, that's
this
New
way
Orleans.
And that way.
That's Louisiana.
It is.
There you go. You got your purple on.
And to represent the women's basketball team.
Yes. All right. I won't ask you what you think of Kim.
Oh, I like Kim.
You like Kim?
She's from Louisiana.
Is she the one that has the big crazy outfits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw her the other day.
Her at Baylor.
I like big yellow thing. I loved it. Mm-hmm. Do we not like her?
No, I think she's awesome.
We liked her at Baylor. We watched her at
very
Baylor.
Into the game.
And she said, I'm from Louisiana, and we like color, and this is who I am. Mm-hmm. And do all coaches have to dress with polos and khaki pants? I mean, honestly.
No.
Yeah. Really? There are some coaches that wear suits. There are some coaches that wear, almost Hawaiian shirts. They wear the camp shirts. Why can't she wear gold lame?
That's right.
I mean, really. Mm-hmm. And giant pink flowers. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we went and watched several Baylor games when she was at Baylor. So.
Yeah, she's talented.
Yeah, we got family in Waco, so they would always get tickets and stuff and say, hey, you want to come down to Luke?
Yeah, why not?
I saw her. And then she ended up at LSU, which was not expected.
But fine with you,
It was fine, yeah.
And then look what they did. They won the championship last night.
And she did.
Night before last.
Yeah, Sunday.
Night before last.
Night before last. Yeah. UConn won last night. Mm-hmm. Very fun to watch. Yep. Okay, sorry. It is really cool. I mean, Louisiana has it all. So, hey, should we do a podcast and talk about RVs?
Yeah, let's.
Okay. Hey, I'm good. It was fun.
Welcome to the RV. This is Clint's job.
The RV Small Talk.
Hey, yeah, can you do it?
No.
Welcome to the RV Small Talk podcast,
where we talk about lightweight trailers and truck campers and all the people, places, and adventures that go along with them. I am your host from Princess Craft RV. I'm PJ.
I'm drinking nasty wine.
Yes, but you're drinking it, and our guests are drinking it too. So thank you so much for throwing them under the bus.
I like it.
Well, you're from Louisiana. We've already had that conversation.
We don't have taste, apparently.
Maybe you have great taste, and Lindsay is the problem here. It could be.
This is 100% true.
Yes, except to put that out there, it is peach Moscato.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But our guests today are not terrible. You like that segue?
Good one.
It's the Drews. The Drews.
Ziz.
The Drewses? We have called them the Drews for so long.
It's okay. Just
do you guys have first names, actually?
Nikki,
Chris, and Brielle.
All right. Well, I guess they have first names. They're not the Drews.
Drewses.
The Drewses.
They are
Drews.
In Austin for Brielle's therapy.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So recently went full time. So wait, hold on. Let me rewind.
Can we just rewind and back up? Because maybe everyone in the world doesn't know the Drews. Yeah, I know. I could interrupt you for a long time, but I'm done now.
No, you can just do the whole podcast.
No, you're on.
We met the Drewses at the Texas Tiny Trailer Rally 2 years ago.
I believe so.
I think so.
I believe so.
And they showed up with a tag that they were camping in. They have their own YouTube channel, which we'll put in the show notes and mention a bunch of times, but it's called Special CirCAMPstances because they camp with their grandgirl, Brielle. So it had like this big logo on the back, and I remember like walking through the campground and being like, I've never seen that before. They got something going on. So then we got to meet them. We've done a podcast with them in the past, but some things have changed. So let's talk about what's changed since y'all were last on the podcast. First of all, what happened to the tag?
We outgrew it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
I miss it.
We do.
I do miss it, but yeah, it definitely better what we have
Got
now.
a little cramped.
Yeah.
But you have an RPod now?
RPod 192.
I wanted, there may be people who don't know the Drewses. How did you end up with the tag? Give us a synopsis of the backstory.
In 2020, COVID hit, and Brielle had to be in Boston for doctor's appointments. We went around April. They canceled our flights, so we couldn't fly, so we canceled our appointments. And they said, let's reschedule them for August. And we said, okay. And then August, she couldn't fly. So I told him, I said, why don't we look into a little camper? And he said,
I'm not pulling a camper to Boston. I'm not going to drive a camper all the way up to Boston.
I said, what about one of these cute little things?
Did you think she just lost her mind?
It came out of nowhere. It really did. She never had been brought up before. Nothing. RV has never been discussed in our household up until that point.
Did you have a friend that had one, or did you just see one online?
I saw one online.
The internet.
Well, we used to watch this show where they redid houses, and they had the cute little camper that the people stayed in, and it just was a bed on wheels with a kitchen in the back.
Yeah.
So I looked up camper with bed on wheels with a kitchen in the back.
I have never Googled that. I wonder what you get.
You'll get a tag.
A lot of people probably have Googled that.
And so
bed on wheels with.
I said, look at this one, and we found one in Garland not about an hour from us, and went a private party and went and checked it out, and we left with it.
Very cool. So, what changed your mind? What made it interesting?
When I was thinking a big camper, for one thing. And when she showed me that, I went, we can do that.
It's just a bed on wheels with a kitchen in the back.
Yeah, instead of canceling her appointments again and stuff like that. And then when they reschedule, it's 3-4 months out again, and I didn't want to do that. So when she showed me that, it was like, that might be possible.
Okay, so I just have to say, a lot of people are going to be saying, really? You had to go to Boston for appointments? What? Come on. It's COVID. Just don't make appointments across the country. Why was that so important to you?
Because Boston has the #1 cerebral palsy clinic in the world. And they took her. So we were going.
Do you just have to apply for it? And
yes.
You have to fill out paperwork. You have to get all her doctors to send everything in. She has to meet their requirements. And then they decide if they're saying, yes, we can work with them or we can't.
Yeah. And we always said that we're going to do whatever's best for her. And when the best came up and we saw that and we found out about that, we said, well, let's try to do it. So before we got the camper, we had already been a couple times to their clinic. And we didn't want to stop.
So now are you in for life? Do you get to go like every year? Or do you have to like reapply every time?
Every year to every 6 months. It depends on how Brielle's hips are at that time.
Yeah, that's the main concern right now with them is her hips. So right now it's every year because her hips are doing fine. But last year it was every 6 months because they were worried about her hips. Catch it.
She's doing that. Okay.
It's okay.
Catch it. Yeah. But yeah, right now our hips are doing good. So it was just, we'll see you in a year.
Cool. But we're going. Oh, well, we'll get there.
So your life is really centered around what's best for Brielle, and she has a lot of special needs, and so that's why your trailer said CirCAMPstances on the back, because you have special CirCAMPstances. Yeah. And you bought a trailer so you could continue to give her the best care.
Exactly.
Just chokes me up. So now let's get back to funny talk so I don't get all sappy, because that's just amazing. It's just amazing what you guys have done. And I don't know, I'm always impressed of how far people will go for people they love. So you bought a tag and you started during COVID taking it up to Boston. And that's where we met you, I think, is you hadn't had your tag very long.
We hadn't had our new tag very long. We had a 5-wide first.
Oh, and then you got...
And 7 months later, we said we need a 6-wide.
Okay.
So we got the Boondock Edition 6-wide.
Okay, so that was camper number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
Now we're on our 3rd camper, and it's the R-Pod 192.
So you said you missed some things about your tag. What do you miss about your tag?
I miss the durability of it. And I miss I love my
correct statement.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Forest River is not listening to this podcast. Yeah. I promise.
Yeah.
New Camp, maybe. Forest River, nah.
Yeah.
Nobody.
New Camp follows us.
But no, if New Camp had a floor plan that worked better for us, we would definitely be with New Camp. I love our R-Pod because of the floor plan and everything. But yeah, I do miss New Camp.
Which one do you have? Which model?
192.
The 192.
A 192. You told me that. Sorry. So, yeah, that's a great open floor plan. It has the slide.
No slide.
No slide? I thought the 192 did. All right.
No, it has the bathroom in the middle, right? Okay.
The bathroom on the back.
Do we sell trailers or what? What do we do here?
Maybe we don't have a R-Pod 192 after all.
We don't. It says it on it.
Would you like a job selling our pods?
Maybe somebody vinyled that on the side right there.
We switch numbers on you. Well, we sell a lot of trailers.
There's too many R-Pods is really the thing. There's too many.
I think the 193
and they keep
has a
changing. And they keep making new ones. We're lost. Okay, so you have a no slide, and does it have like bunk beds? What do you like about it?
It has a Murphy bed.
Okay.
And that's what we like about it. And it goes north-south. And we don't have to climb over each other. And we can put it up during the day and just have our couch in our living area and stuff that we have in it.
So was it when you bought the R-Pod that, spoiler alert, you decided to go full-time? Or was it after you bought the R-Pod?
That was just recently.
Yeah, it was after.
We've had the R-Pod almost a year.
And then you said, since we're crazy, let's just go totally off the edge and go full time?
No.
No?
So we decided to do that now because we're here in Austin for 3 weeks for Brielle's therapies.
Okay.
We'll go home for a week and have her birthday.
Okay.
But we'll live in the R-Pod because we've rented out the house.
Okay.
Then we leave around the 16th or the 17th for Boston for 6 months because Brielle got into the short gut clinic because she only has half of her intestines and she doesn't gain weight and she's stopped growing taller. So now we've got they have a short gut clinic and they're going to help us stabilize her and try to get her gaining weight and figure out how to feed her to get her to grow. And so they want to see her every 2 months. So we decided it would be best to try to live there versus try to go back and forth every other month.
Yes, it would be so expensive to drive back and forth.
Yeah. And when we were leaving last time, we went up there and we had the Napa intensive therapy up there. And when we were leaving, it just didn't feel right. Didn't feel right for us. We said, the first time in our life that I don't think we're doing the right thing for her, like by leaving. And I'm not going to be able to talk.
And the next day, we always have said everything happens for a reason. From the day she was supposed to come home and she didn't from the NICU because the nurse said everything happens for a reason. So that she came home a day later. But we've always used that statement with her. And the next day after he said that, I follow a lot of work camping sites on Facebook. And a job in Boston dropped in our laps. And I emailed the lady and said, can I speak to you about our situation? And after I spoke to her on the phone, she said, sounds like the perfect job for y'all. And so we're going to live at their campground and work at their campground and take Brielle to doctor's appointments. And
the dates worked out perfectly. Like it's from March 1st through October 31st or November 15th, whichever one we decide. But it worked out perfectly.
Wow.
For
and
the
then we
dates.
come back to Austin for 3 weeks for therapy. So it was the bookend.
Wow.
So we're all in this year.
Now that we're talking about a few serious things, can I bring up something that I bet people are thinking? I can't tell you how many people say, yeah, I wish we had the money and the means to do that. Did you guys start out with enough money where you said, we got this, we'll just quit working and we'll live off all this money that we've saved? Aren't we fortunate? Was that the story, or how does that go? Because I promise you, there's people out there saying, yeah, we can't do that.
We had worked hard for years, so we did save some, and we had a decent savings, which we had a decent savings. So it had
decent savings, meaning like
several years of.
So a couple of years of
full-time job, and I was a real estate agent, and we put everything I made in real estate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Savings account.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
so
how
you weren't inherently wealthy, but you did have a little bit of money saved.
A little bit of money, and then she started a business doing personalizing cups and shirts and whatever you needed personalized.
Promotion,
vinyl, sublimation, stuff
business.
like that. So she worked that as well as her real estate still off and on. So, and last year I started a lawn care business to help make ends meet also. So I worked from like grass growing time until grass stopped growing up there. And so
you did lawn care during the day. So
and we've done fundraising. We've done as far as getting Brielle to Boston and to therapies and to pay for therapies. We've done different fundraisers to help for all of that.
It's definitely a team that has helped us get her up there, especially we call it Team Brielle Nicole. And that's, so it's a team that has helped us immensely to get her up there.
Well, when we got the first camper, it was to get her up there. And a friend of ours said, make an Amazon wish list. And we're like, no, we can do this. We can buy the stuff that goes in the camper. We bought the camper. She said, make an Amazon wish list. So we put crazy stuff on there. Like, what was it? Spare tire, because it didn't have one. We put so much stuff on there, and in 24 hours, it was all bought. And we're like,
wow.
Well, stuff we considered comfort items and stuff like a mattress pad for the mattress on the tag, because they're not that
not
especially that year they didn't have the Foley system or whatever it is underneath there. It was not very comfortable at all. And so we put stuff like that on there, and people stepped up, and we're definitely blessed. Let me say that.
Wow. Well, people can't fund every bill you have, but people can buy a mattress pad and contribute. So if you get enough people helping, it's amazing what can happen. And so it sounds like you weren't like a vice president of Exxon and had a huge income and able to just do whatever option made sense. You had to work for it. And I think that's what is so impressive when I see on your website. It isn't like, hey, we need some money. Y'all can donate if you want to. It's like, I'm making salsa for Christmas, and anybody wants salsa. It's $7 a bottle or something, a jar. And I'm like, that's hard work. I mean, this is like hard work that you guys go through just to be sure you can keep doing what you need to do. I just think it's amazing. People need to know that. Thank you.
That's what we always wanted to do was we didn't want to just request money. Never ever. So we wanted to give something in return. And the salsa thing that we started was just a friend of ours from Louisiana. They have this business that they make salsa, and they said, we'll help you if you come help us. We'll give you half the proceeds, half of the cost of it to the fundraiser, and the other cost goes to the cost of it. And so, hey, we would sell it, and then we'd make a trip down to Louisiana and go make hundreds of things of salsa over a weekend and bring them back in many coolers, bringing them back and go up to Oklahoma and deliver some of them. So, but
it's crazy.
That is crazy. Well, I don't know. We got all serious for a while, but those are questions that I had.
On a roll.
Am I on a roll?
Yeah.
You're so quiet, Lindsay.
Because you keep talking.
Okay. If I shut up, will you start?
I don't know.
You have more fun stuff.
Well, you kicked me off of that. now I'm derailed. Let's see.
Well, you guys have been full-time since
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I wouldn't
3
necessarily
weeks?
call us full time. It's temporarily full time, I guess.
At the moment.
At the moment, we're not quite sure what's going to happen when we come back from Boston.
Well, the question is, how long did you rent your house?
Well, it's 9 months right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a 9-month lease that we've done. And when we get back from Boston, we'll be back here until December, and then after that, we'll decide whether we're going to extend the lease or what we're going to do. We're not quite sure. Just this year, we're going to be majority of this year. We're going to be in our camper. We're not going to be back in that house.
We might not like each other in 9 months.
I can't imagine.
Maybe not in 3 months. No, we're good. We've been spending a lot of time in the camper. Like last time we went to Boston, it was over 3 months that we were there. So.
Do you have the organization down of like where everything goes in the camper and like?
We did.
Nikki's just cracking up.
She is laughing.
We did. It was great. Until
Yeah.
Okay,
she kind of considers it full time, and we were.
Did you go shopping?
No, I didn't.
She just took everything from the house that we rented out and tried to fit it into our camper.
Well, yeah. What was he supposed to do with it?
2,400 square feet to 100 square feet. It all fits, right?
Do you just?
You don't have to get in there, do you?
You know, I saw this thing on Facebook today, and maybe you should try this. So instead of actual pillows, people use their pillowcase and they just stuff their clothes in the pillowcase, and then you have extra storage for your clothes and pillows. Boom. I just solved your
You
problem.
did solve a lot of problems right there.
No, you might have neck problems when you wake up
Yeah.
because I can't imagine those jeans are
We
very
use the
comfy.
vacuum
bags.
ziller bag things for a lot of our, because when we're up there, it's going to begin to be winter time,
So we
coolish
had to
time.
bring
Yeah, so you
we
gotta
have
bring
to have a couple seasons of clothes
and all the blankets and
blankets.
So, are these clean clothes or dirty clothes?
No, like when you're packing for a trip, you clean clothes. You pack
You
your clean
pack
clothes.
them
Yeah.
in. Okay. Speaking of dirty clothes,
Or
that's
stuffed
one of the
animals.
problems I have in a trailer. It's like I end up with everything that I brought being dirty, and I have no place to put it because I filled up everything with clean clothes.
No. This is
Okay.
what you do.
Okay.
So
Camping tip
I
number
pack
1.
Both of my kids have a backpack with all their clothes in it, and then I have a bag with my clothes in it, and then I empty out my bag, and then I put my clothes in the drawers, and then I put the bag underneath the sink, and then
Where the trash can goes?
yeah, except for I don't have a trash can. I just hang a trash bag somewhere on the door. But so under the sink.
Okay.
Under the sink. And so then every time the kids take off their clothes or you change, you just put your dirty clothes into the bag that you brought your clean clothes in. And then when you get back home, you just unzip it and dump it in the washer. You really have a problem with that?
No, I'm just.
What do you do with your dirty clothes? Burn them?
They wear them
No,
once.
but I have learned to pack with open space for dirty clothes because when I started camping, I would pack all the space and then I would have all these dirty clothes. And my husband has a great solution, and his solution would be just put them on the floor next to your bed, and then you have
Why
the
don't you
pile,
put it
and
in
know
the
where
bag
pile
where your
is.
clean clothes
Right?
used to be?
Well, because I
Do you
only
not
take one
unpack?
shirt out of the cabinet, so there isn't like a.
So you don't
bowl there.
unpack.
I don't bring
You
a
just
bag.
live out of your bag?
No, I have it in the cabinets, but then every space is full. Okay.
She doesn't bring a bag. She just packs her clothes.
Put the bag in the truck.
Okay.
And
I'll
then you
stand
just
by
put
the
your-
truck, take all my clothes off.
No, why would you do that?
So in the R pod, we have a bunch of cabinets in the bathroom.
Maybe you need a
Lots of
trailer with
cabinets.
more storage.
So there's one.
You should
I
get an
keep a
R-pod.
hamper in it.
You keep a hamper in the
192
bathroom.
hamper.
specifically.
Yeah, 192.
Yeah.
If that's what we have, I'm not quite sure.
I don't think it has a
had
slide
a
or
whole
anything.
discussion. We don't know what you have. And, well, you never know about those Cajuns from Louisiana.
So what else about full timing is different or surprising or weird or terrible or amazing?
I don't know. We're just now starting, so
it's 3 months.
It's
That's
terrible.
a long time.
It's been 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks. I think 3 months.
We're still trying to get
Unpacked.
I've just put in a shelf to hold my coffee pot. Like that's my extent of bringing the house to the thing. So I built
he built a shelf off the side of the cabinet that opens and closes that holds the Keurig.
So I was able to bring one thing. She brought the other 50 things.
Yeah, I have a whole bin.
But they were all necessary.
They are.
Chris, all of them.
I needed the vacuum sealer because you know how much space you have in the freezer? None.
You vacuum seal your freezer food?
He does.
Oh.
We do. I did at home. I don't anticipate doing it now because I don't anticipate having enough to
in your camper.
I do for some reason. I don't anticipate having that much food to be able to have to. We'll go through it before it really needs to be vacuumed. Well,
how big is your refrigerator?
It's not.
Like, have you seen an R-Pod?
Yeah, well,
it's like
not
an
little.
R-Pod size.
It's not big.
It's not little. It's not big. It's bigger than a tag.
Well, you mean the bed on wheels with the kitchen in the back?
It's big enough. It's big enough, and don't you let anybody tell you any different.
We're working it.
Boy, we're selling campers on this podcast, aren't we?
Hey, tags.
Especially our pods.
I really like the refrigerator in our pod, though, because it's
not a tag.
No, I like it. I could make the one in the tag work.
I think it's too small for me.
And before, when we did the long trip in the tag, I just made meals in advance, froze them all, turned the refrigerator up to freezer settings, and then when we were ready to driving during the day, we would throw one of them in the sink to defrost, and then we would stop at like rest stops and cook it, warm it up.
Perfect.
Well, very smart. Make everything a freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we like, what do you call it? Meal prepped.
Meal prepped,
and just had, and then froze it solid flat.
Because that,
so it just kind of fit into that thing.
In the refrigerator
and we had all kinds of meals
before they went to their new thing. It had that space in the top that was small, so that didn't get cold enough to freeze. So you could still put some refrigerated items.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's how we roll.
In an R-Pod 192.
Well, there you go.
So you're going to get a big sticker for your R-Pod?
We're working on that.
Because I haven't seen it.
It has not. We have it. We have a big sticker on the. Was it the spare tire cover?
I made a spare tire cover. It's on there, and it has our YouTube and our logo and our Instagram and
So tell me about your group. So you have YouTube videos, but you also have like a Facebook group.
We're
and
a little
I'm slacking on YouTube.
No, whatever. Your TikTok is
TikTok's where we're at right now.
I haven't had much time between getting the house ready to rent and everything to coming down here and doing therapies. My YouTube is really slacking, but I have time to make TikTok videos and Instagram reels, and I'm just learning all this stuff though. So
well, your TikTok videos are awesome. Brielle said love, and that
was.
I watched that one probably 40 times.
Oh, she's part of that big group.
Yeah, that one was. It was out of nowhere too, and I still didn't know how she found where the "I love you" one is, but it was pretty awesome.
But yeah, your TikTok is awesome. So you can find them on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Am I missing anything?
That's it.
At Special CirCAMPstances. And we'll put it like in the show notes and everything so you guys can find it. But I don't know. It's a mixture of like random travel adventure, Brielle's therapies, which I really like seeing because I think a lot of the world just doesn't understand what that looks like. And it was cool to see that snippet of her like holding her head up or the speech therapist singing her the song and she was smiling, like stuff like that. Like people don't get to see. And it's kind of cool to see into that world and how they're helping her. And then there's also camping stuff and trailer stuff.
There'll be more camping stuff here soon when we're heading up to Boston.
But it's a good mix. It's not like, I don't know. It's always something different.
You want to talk?
Talk about it, Brielle. Tell us.
Today I'm going to put on a day in the life.
Today will be a fun one.
Yes.
Yeah, she did a lot today at therapy, so that might be a reason she's little whiny.
You're
right
allowed
now,
to be whiny, girl.
But she did a lot. So there's going to be a day in the life video coming up.
Super fun. Are you turning this podcast into a TikTok? Am I being filmed right now?
Only if Clint says it's
Only if somebody else is doing it. That's cool, though. It's always cool to get to know people when you see little pieces of their life, especially when it's something that you don't understand or don't have a way to relate. And that is what I have enjoyed the most, watching your stuff, because, you know, like people say about lots of things online, you feel like you know them and you know what your life is like. Yeah, because you guys have a really interesting life. Your day is different than most people out there.
Well, when I started the channel, it wasn't really intended for this. It was intended for mainly camping and to show that if you have a Brielle out there, you can still do it. And that's what the main reason I started the page was. And kind of life has turned me into right now. We haven't been able to camp very much, basically been living. And so that's what it's kind of.
So what do you think it's turned into? What is it like
it's
now?
more of a like how we day in the life, kind of how we live right now. Whenever we go up to Boston, there's going to be. I like to boondock a lot, so there'll be a lot of where we're staying and how we're doing and stuff like that. Is on the way up there, but then I'm going to be there for 6 months. So it's not gonna, I don't want to show how we're doing it because it's 6 months of like pretty much the same thing.
Right.
So it'll be back to probably some of Brielle and her therapies because we're having her therapies done up there.
Yeah.
And, and everything and her doctor's appointments and
so
food.
Do you,
I like to do food.
No, food's always
food
good.
is always a
Food
winner.
adventures always make me happy. But that's what's cool about it. It's like, it's Brielle and then it's food and then it's camping and then it's something totally random and then it's living in your trailer full time and then it's Brielle and then it's camping.
Why not? Yeah.
So
do you know of other people that you have like inspired to try camping that would not have done it without you being out there?
I do not, but I did get a random email the other day from a guy that watches my YouTube channel that he has missed us because we haven't been on there, and he told me stories about how he and his 25-year-old son that has cerebral palsy, how they've been doing it and stuff, and they love to watch our channel and see how we do it and everything. But
so
as far as they were already doing it, but they just it continued to watch ours because they want to see.
And you know, there's people out there. It's just a small percentage of them are going to say something.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, very small percentage.
But how nice to know that you are connecting with people who have some of the same concerns and some of the same,
made our
I wouldn't call them issues, but just challenges that they have figured out how to solve. I don't know. I think it's cool. So cool. I always love getting to see you guys and see how you're doing and all the cool stuff you're putting out there.
Yeah.
Brielle looks so tired.
I think you never even talked ever until tonight.
Yeah.
I think we have worn out Brielle.
She's been up
but she had a very long day
already, and 4 of those hours she's been doing therapy. So
and therapy isn't sitting there just nonchalant. She is kind of walking and moving and pushing and pulling and
wait till you see today.
Responding.
Yeah, today she did a lot. So a lot.
Wow. All right. Well, we will put all the places to connect with you in the show notes, right? Clint will do that. So you guys
nodding his head.
Yes. So you can catch up with Nikki and Chris and Brielle in their current circumstances.
Especially
CirCAMPstances. Especially Brielle.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's so cute.
We're just along for the ride. It's Brielle.
It's the Brielle
Superstar
show.
Brielle. Well, I'm so glad you guys stopped in. I know that therapy goes till 3:30. It's kind of late for you guys. So thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
I'm glad we could be here and not on Zoom this time.
Yeah, it's so much more fun in person.
This is a whole lot
It is with peach Moscato.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm so glad you love it because it is killing me.
My coffee is awesome.
It's so bad. So Thanks for listening. You can listen to other episodes at rvsmalltalk.com. I'm so sorry. Clint usually does this. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to rate and review. It really helps other people find our podcasts. You can also find us on Facebook at RV Small Talk Podcast and RV Small Talk Podcast Community.
Hey, this is the first time we haven't mentioned the rallies. 2 or 3 more weeks and we have 2 rallies. So the Texas Tiny Trailer Rally and the Texas Truck Camper Rally. Just Google it. It'll pop right up and come join us. We don't care what you're camping in. It's free. Just pay for your campsite and come hang out with the cool kids.
All right. We will see you next time. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Thank y'all.
Sorry,
Clint's
Brielle.
so much better at that.
Sorry, Brielle whined the whole time.
No,
No, it was fine.
It just makes editing a little bit hard.
Nah. It really was great.
Made for a real podcast.
That's
You
right.
get to whine. You earned it.
She says,
Now you're going to wake up.
huh?
Now you're waking up, huh?
Well, we started
She
moving
was just
around.
tired of listening to us talk.
To us. Yeah.
please
So
stop
y'all
talking.
talk a lot.
Please stop talking.
Say
Right,
hi.
girl?
Say hi.
Hello.
You can say
Oh,
it.
now you
Let them
have to.
keep it on. Let them catch it on there.
Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, good. Oh, man.
I'll take it.
We got a great smile. It was awesome.
Yeah, you
That's
tried.
how my kids say hi to me too. Is actually. I know
was
you
fun.
can say hi. I've heard a hi.
He still hasn't listened to the last one.
I refuse, and I won't listen to this again. So.
Listen to what?
The podcast
Why?
with us on it. He
Why?
listens to the podcast.
Oh,
I don't even like
I listen.
my own videos, and like I don't,
And then
it's weird.
my voice, my everything. I just don't like
Caitlin
it.
made me do a TikTok today. It was awful. I hated every minute of it. I whined the whole time, and I'm never gonna watch it. I totally agree with you,
Because
Chris.
I don't have
Well,
an
I will
accent
probably
until I watch
watch
it
it.
on TV.
because it'll pop up.
Well, you don't have an accent. You don't have an accent in your own head.
I know. See,
But
Sometimes I do.
yeah, I catch myself.
Sometimes it comes
I
out.
said, "Whoa." It's-
no, you both have an accent.
Oh, we
All the time.
We for sure.
But sometimes it just gets a little more prominent. That's okay.
Yeah,
So,
we'll go to Louisiana next week, and we'll
You'll
be there
pick
for
it
a
up
few
again.
days, and we'll pick up a little bit more.
yeah.
and then we'll leave, and it'll come back.
Yep. That happens.
I had to change my whole speaking style when we moved to Vegas because nobody could understand anything I was saying.
Yeah. Kind of
I
like
said "fixin' to" one time, and they went, "What? Fixin' to?"
fixing to. That's part of English, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
Texas English.
So,
We're
okay,
fixin'
about
to.
and I couldn't say bye. Good luck, y'all.
Yeah.
Good luck, you guys. And I'm like, no.
I know. You
Just
can't
don't
say
know.
y'all.
Can't say y'all. So
That's all right.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.